All right, so one ho, what exactly are you doing here? Excuse me, what are you doing?
Give me your wig, give me your wig, give me your wig, give me your wig, because it seems like you are through with it.
Honestly, with the way that I have been talking about One Ho, like you would think that he's the only K-pop star that I know of, but he's just who I'm obsessed with this week, or at least these past couple of weeks, and it will continue to be that way in the future. That last shot I think I showed you was from his music video Lose, and it sounds really good. He's an amazing dancer, but yeah, child, he's fine as hell. But I mean, you already know. And like I always say, I know it's difficult for y'all to keep y'all hands off of my many husbands. There are many, y'all already know y'all, like there's so many husbands that I know it's difficult for y'all to just stay in your own lane. I know it's difficult for you to stay in your own lanes, but he's one of my many. Like I said, if you're looking for at my marriage license, it's just like, it's so many names on that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, just back off. Y'all already know the drill. Make sure that you go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression and check out all the goodies. You already know the weekly podcast. On the podcast, among many other things, including the things that the patrons want me to discuss, I always talk about some of the things that I'm watching, usually centers around Attack on Titan and WandaVision. But speaking of WandaVision, I wanted to bring up what the director, Matt Shakman, said about the finale. He said that a lot of the fans are going to be disappointed by the finale, and I guess he's just basing that off of all the fan theories and YouTube videos and shit that he'd be watching, and the fans are going crazy trying to figure out what is going to happen in this finale. But I wanted to read you some of the things that he said. He said, I hope that the fans feel like the journey was satisfying for them. I know there are so many theories out there. There will be a lot of people who will no doubt be disappointed by one theory or another, but we're always telling this story about Wanda dealing with grief and learning how to accept that loss. And hopefully people will find that the finale is surprising, but also satisfying, and that it feels inevitable because it's the same story they've been watching the whole time. Elizabeth Olsen very much understood that Wanda has experienced more loss than anybody else in the Marvel Universe. She's lost her parents, she's lost her brother, she's lost the love of her life by now, and she's right on the edge. In some ways, Wanda is as close as Marvel gets to exploring mental illness. Really, like, how do you hold together your reality when you're constantly experiencing so much trauma? She taps into that so beautifully. So what I think that he is preparing everybody for, this is my whole prediction. What I think he's preparing everybody for is just like, girl, just face the fact some of these girls finna die, including Vision. I think that maybe because people saw Vision coming back to life and they're just like, oh girl, you know, multiple Visions are in play right now. So it's like, it's almost like, well girl, maybe one of them can stay alive or something like that. I think that the director is prepping for a loss. In the beginning of the show, she's talking about like, all I want to do is bury him. And so maybe she gets to the point in the story where it's just like finally accepting Vision's loss. But I think that maybe something's going to happen to her kids or something. I don't know. But the fact that she's going to be the focus of phase 4 for Marvel tells me that she's about to do something. She's about to turn this whole shit upside down. And it's going to be a bittersweet kind of thing. I think maybe people are just like, oh girl, maybe they think like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a beautiful ending, and I don't think we're getting that. I think Wanda's gonna be like, okay, you girls tried me for the last time. Y'all tried me for the last time. Now I'm expanding the hex, and oh, look at that, now the whole solar system's in this shit. So, I don't know, tell me what y'all think is gonna happen in this finale. I just think that, you know, it's gonna be very bittersweet. I wanted to talk really quickly about some random stuff before we get into the bigger topics. Serena Williams and Olympia, I thought this shit was so cute. They starred in their first fashion campaign together, and I thought it was, I don't know, it's Stuart Weitzman or something like that. I just thought it was adorable, and like you zoom in on Olympia's shoes, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. I love seeing it. I love seeing her happy. It's just beauty, talent. Y'all already know that I love it. Flo Milli, speaking of beauty and talent, Flo Milli just dropped this, it's called Backpack or something, like Flora the Explorer. I think that shit is so fucking hilarious. So I don't know how true this is or not, but I saw multiple people say it. So if you all know, then you can let me know. I heard that one of the reasons why she dropped this song, like she literally sounds, it's a whole like Dora world that she's in. I thought that shit was so goddamn funny. But what made me put it in the video was because I heard that people said the reason why she dropped this is because a lot of people were saying that she sounds childish when she raps and she sounds like Dora the Explorer. So I guess she took that shade and flipped it and she made a fucking banger. That shit is hilarious to me. I feel like I kind of get it. Obviously not because I am nowhere near Flo Milli's level, but like when I do be rapping, I sound like a substitute teacher sometimes. So like I get it, but I think that shit was hilarious the way she flipped it. The way she flipped, she's like, okay, you girls finna shade me, saying I sound, you know, like a kid show bitch. She literally put herself in Dora's world and tell you bitches, swipe if you want to, ho. I got something in my backpack, your nigga wanna tap that. Bitch, don't play with me. I'm already in this too. All right, so let's get to some of the bigger topics. Meghan Markle. I know she's tired of these goddamn royals, and I feel like those of you who watch me, y'all already know I don't be talking about the royal family like that. It's very much, I mean, given their history as well, you know, I'm not gassing up no royal family. It's just, it's not given for me. You feel what I'm saying? But I have to imagine that Meghan Markle is so tired, so exhausted, right? So there was this big announcement that Meghan Markle and Harry, I was about to say Harry Styles, girl. Girl, Meghan and Harry, girl. Anyway, they made this announcement that they were, you know, they both were gonna be on Oprah literally this coming Sunday on March 7th. They're going to be telling their story, and it was all, you know, Harry was just like, girl, y'all hoes tried me, y'all tried my mother, but bitch, you ain't finna try Meghan. It was just like, they're gonna go over there and just air the royal family out, bitch. And them hoes in Buckingham, them hoes is shaking, ho. Them hoes was shaking, bitch. Them hoes was, and I know that they are because it was just, I mean, almost immediately, it was a story push that, oh, you know, it's been revealed that Meghan Markle, what did they say? That Meghan Markle, well, you know, is a bully. She's a bully. This apparently came from one of her closest advisors. They also said that staff were bullied by her and they were reduced to tears. And I'm just like, okay, like we already know what's going on. We already seeing how the media, we already seeing how the family attacked Meghan. Like we already know that shit. But for me, I'm just like, why don't y'all at least come up with some lies that are, you know, that are more believable? Because all the news stations were reporting when Meghan and Harry left. Oh my gosh, the staff is so sad to see them go. Every one of them. Oh gosh, you know, everybody crying when Meghan and Harry got to leave. It's just so sad. All the staff loved them. Bitch, this is what Page, for example, just for one example, this is what Page 6 said in their headline. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry throw UK staff an emotional farewell lunch. And the first sentence in that article says, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's staff wept during an emotional lunch the couple threw for their employees. Like, at least come up with some lines that make sense. How we gonna go from, oh my gosh, the staff gonna miss them and they crying at this farewell lunch and shit, to oh bitch, you know, Meghan Markle is a bully. Specifically, Meghan Markle is a bully. And she reduced the staff to tears. Yeah, maybe they were crying because they didn't want her ass to go. Y'all are stupid. So yeah, I just feel like because the royal family knows that that interview is going to be all over the goddamn place. Like, like they're going to drag the entire shit out. And tying it also to Princess Diana. And some people are like, oh my God, you know, Harry is milking this story. That's his mama. What are y'all talking about? That's his damn mama. You know? So I know that the palace is angry, but I cannot wait to see how this shit unfolds and angry ass press releases. Y'all are tired, and I'm sure Meghan is tired of y'all. Now, with the way that this tired ass administration is playing Jenga and Tetris with our checks, it's just like, oh wow. Like, you know what I mean? I don't believe a goddamn thing that Biden says. But Biden is saying that this country, this is what he said, this country will have enough vaccine supply for every adult in America by the end of May. This is apparently 2 months before schedule. They were planning, I guess, to have all that shit later on. And he said, girl, by the end of May, we're going to have it all together. I don't believe God. I mean, I believe it when I see it. That's what it is. And I hope that it's the case. I'm not, obviously, but I believe it when I see that shit. Okay, so going off of the fact that Biden says, hey girl, we're gonna have these vaccines, everybody's gonna be vaccinated by the end of May, or at least we're gonna have enough supply for that shit. Why the hell did the governor for Texas say that, hey, guess what, girl? We are going to lift this mask mandate, and on top of that, listen to what I'm saying. We're gonna open up every single piece of Texas economy. He said, girl, we are going to open up at 100%. Now, tell me how that shit makes some sense. Does that shit make sense to you, bitch? It don't make no sense to me. Now, we are not going to talk about the fact that this man's forehead looks like it should be tossed around at the NBA. We are not going to talk about the fact that this man's eyebrows are doing the Cupid shuffle on his eyelids. We're not going to talk about that. But what we're going to say, everybody going to say hello. Everybody gonna say hello. This is Greg Abbott, the Texas governor. He's opening this shit up, opening all this shit up. Lifting mask mandates. Wow, look at this shit I saw. The state of Texas ranks 49 in per capita vaccinations, and only 6.5% of the state has been vaccinated. This was when I was doing research for the video. I don't know what the stats are looking like now. Also, ICUs in Texas are completely full in at least 50 hospitals. And this man wants to say, hey, guess what, girl? Open up everything, and matter of fact, y'all can walk around with no mask on, okay? Texas, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that y'all have to deal with that bullshit. I'm so sorry that this man is over here, literally going to be fostering more and more deaths and bullshit just because he wants this economy open. All these people are so greedy and fucking selfish and weird. Texas, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this shit. But don't listen to that man. Do what y'all need to do. Protect each other, protect yourselves, and move on about your business, bitch. This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying to you? This don't make no sense to me. This shit with Texas governor, I think, is really ugly and tired. He's not the only one. Cuomo, I'm gonna talk about your ass at the end of this shit. But it's really disgusting, and we need to get these girls out. We need to get them out. So I want y'all to listen to this. And have I been living under a rock? Y'all can tell me if I have. Because I did not know at all. Like, it was no coverage. It was nothing. Nothing. Jackson, Mississippi has apparently been without water for 2 weeks and going. I'm talking about since the storm hit and threw everything off and fucked up people's power and what. Jackson, Mississippi, the city has been going, I'm talking about whole neighborhoods without water and shit. Like, it's crazy as hell. From CBS, the city said over the course of this crisis, 80 total water main breaks / leaks have been reported throughout the city. As of Sunday evening, 51 repairs had been completed by the water maintenance department, which was continuing work on repairs. There's a boil water notice in effect, and the city's asking those people the people who do have water, to limit the usage. The city engineer is Dr. Charles Williams, and he said Sunday was a much better day than the previous one. He said the complex nature of it is our system crashed like a computer, and now we're trying to rebuild it. And so the progress has been very slow. I think that when you take into account what I'm about to say next, the fact, and couple it with the fact that it don't make no sense how shitty American infrastructure is. Across the goddamn board, it's disgusting. Ashton Pittman is a senior reporter for the Mississippi Press, and they tweeted, how is it that the people of a state's capital city in the richest nation on earth have been without running water for 2 weeks? How is it that there are no ongoing conversations between Mississippi's governor or legislature and Jackson's mayor? Jackson is 82% black, and that's all you have. That's the only stat you need to make sense of this whole fucking situation. I hate it. And the thing that I hate so much on top of that is the fact that it wasn't no peep out of nobody. No coverage or anything. At least, like I said, y'all can tell me if I was living on the rock or whatever, but I didn't hear shit about it. I hate it. And lastly, y'all, Andrew Cuomo is still getting dragged. He just need to resign. Has he not resigned yet? Maybe by the time y'all watching this shit, he resigned. He's getting dragged some more, okay? Apparently, Anna Rutch is someone else who's coming out describing an encounter with him that made her extremely uncomfortable at I think September 2019 wedding. That story is being dragged all across my timeline. I think the New York Times first reported it, and there's something else. I wrote a whole bunch of notes. Andrew Cuomo helped. This is a report that I was reading. Andrew Cuomo helped, his donor prevent nursing home executives from experiencing legal consequences as death ran through nursing homes in New York. Because of Cuomo's law, victims' families are left without rights and no answers to the questions about negligence. I read this one story where it was this woman named Anna. She had knee replacement surgery. She had to go to some nursing home for a couple of weeks of like therapy, and then she was supposed to return home. I guess after all that shit was done, the nursing home was just like acting really weird and was just like, yeah, girl, here's Miss Anna. Everything's okay, but she might need an oxygen tank to breathe, but you know, it's just, she's fine. She can go home. Instead of going home, she ended up having to go to the goddamn hospital, and just like days later, Miss Mama's is like not here with us anymore. She had died. So now that the family was trying to sue him, it's like, girl, what the fuck happened? And they can't even do that because of Andrew Cuomo's law that says that Miss Mama's, if something happens, the nursing home cannot be held accountable. They cannot be held liable. So law firms, lawyers and shit will not take the case because of the shit that Andrew Cuomo did. This comes from the Daily Poster. As the Daily Poster reported last May, the Cuomo administration quietly inserted the liability shield provision into the state's 2020 budget bill after a powerful healthcare industry group that donated more than $1 million to Cuomo's political machine drafted and lobbied for the law. As the media was reporting on how New York was becoming a global coronavirus hotspot, Cuomo signed into law the state's budget bill for the year, which included a little notice provision on page 347 that noted that executives, board members, trustees, and other corporate officials at nursing homes and other healthcare facilities shall have immunity from any liability, civil or criminal, for any harm or damages alleged to have been sustained as a result of an act or omission in the course of arranging for or providing healthcare services. And it's just like, that is extremely broad. It provides extreme, like I'm just now reading that like definition for real. That shit is like God level protection. And notice who they're protecting. They're not protecting like, oh, everyday employees. They're protecting specifically executives, board members, trustees, and other corporate officials. So it's an absolute disaster. I want Andrew Cuomo to get his ass out of here. I want Greg Abbott to get his ass out of here. Just scrub the place clean. Literally and figuratively, okay? On that note, I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression for extra goodies. And make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
I always got the nigga begging for just one kiss.